Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, my name is Sandra Faust and I like to review things. And today we're going to actually be going over my Play Arts Kai collection and how to start if you're a beginning collector. I know it's kind of daunting at first, but this is years of collection and you're not going to be jumping from buying 10 of these things at once because they are expensive. So I want to kind of show you how to begin and where I am at. And this is like a 6-year span of collecting so far. So let's get right into it. Now just a little bit of history into Play Arts. Well, it was just Play Arts at first. Play Arts Kai was introduced in 2009 actually. But most of the time they are 7 to 9 inches tall and they have 20 points of articulation. Articulation is just neck movements, joints, hands, and feet, so on. And then the Final Fantasy variant Play Art Kai was introduced with reimagined looks for each character that they did. That was back in 2014. Just a little bit of history for all y'all nerds like me. I just like to know the little ins and out of everything. Now, initially, I didn't even start collecting Final Fantasy Play Arts. I actually started doing their Devil May Cry. I did the Dante and Virgil. I think those were my first Play Arts Kais. And then I had the Lightning 13 variant. And I eBayed those. I eBayed those maybe a year after I got them because it just wasn't fitting in my collection. And though I love Lightning, I mean, I have her tattooed on me, 13 is not my favorite game, and so I didn't want to keep it. So my technical first one that I ever kept was Vincent Valentine. And I'll show you, this is pretty standard for a Play Arts Kai box. They have the picture of the character, and that's actually the figure and how they pose it. The name, more pictures of the character, name again, bottom and top. And that's just standard boxing for a Play Arts Kai. Now my friend got me Vincent for Christmas. I guess I was close to 21, maybe 22. So it's old. I mean, it's been through some moves, so you can see the denting in the box, or I'd keep it mint or just get rid of the box, and I'll show you how I did that with the Final Fantasy 15 boys. But I keep him in the box because he's so big. It's really hard to display Vincent. He's a really big figure. I'll show you everything about him. They actually made a new one of his Dirge of Cerberus look, and oof, it looks so much better. And you're just gonna see throughout the years, Play Art Kai just steps on itself constantly how good they are getting with their designs of their facing. I think the faces are a huge glow up with the company and how they paint, and also their hair. And you're gonna see all of this. I'm gonna show you everything. You're gonna wanna keep watching. Here is Vincent out of the box. As you can see, he stands pretty tall and his cape takes up a lot of room, and that's what I was talking about. It's hard to display him because I use mostly bookshelves, and so it takes up a lot of space. But he, with the updated version of him, he looks much better updated. But this one I do believe was made early 2010s. And it comes with his gun, his very polished gun. There's a really good design on it. And I mean, they do cost, I do believe, starting around $150 each. And that's what I was talking about, how expensive they can be. This was a gift, and I do believe she found it on Amazon for much cheaper. So if you're not trying to go through Ami or Square Enix, be aware that there can be fakes. I've seen a lot of fakes on eBay of Play Arts Kai figures. I just watch how I don't buy them on eBay. I would sell them on eBay, but I would not buy a Play Arts Kai on eBay just because you just don't know what you're getting. And hopefully you can trust the seller with what they bring, but I don't know. Iffy. I buy most of my stuff now on Ami because everything has to be pre-ordered nowadays. But there's just a lot of attention to detail with these figures. He's a really old one, and I'm just going to show you the differences versus a newer Play Arts. But you can just tell the painting was not as great as it is now. I'm just going to tell you that much. The buckles, it all looks very flat. And his face, God bless him, his face is not where it should be. And again, the new one probably looks 10 times better. But his articulation is pretty good. I mean, besides the cape, he can't really bend backward, but he has a lot of dynamic posing. Otherwise, like I said, there's 20 points of articulation usually on each Play Arts Kai figure. You can see he swivel his arm. This doesn't move too much because of the cape, but the cape kind of goes up a little bit to allow for more posing. But you're not going to get much out of Vincent. I wanted to compare Vincent to Noctis, who came out just a little bit after him in 2016 when the game came out. And you can see just the difference in design and paint job. Like, you can see how flat his reds are, and even with these blacks, there's so much more dynamic color to each of these figures. What I'm really impressed by is their facials painting. Gives Noctis those sleepy eyes, as you can see if I can zoom in a little bit more on him. The eyes seem to have a little bit more life, more color. For other Vincent, I mean, I get it, the guy's immortal, but it's just so flat. So flat. And Noctis doesn't have, the cape that's restricting him of movement. And he can do a lot of cool things. I have all 4 of the boys, but I just wanted to show you, like, over the years of how much Play Arts Kai has stepped up their game. And they both stand, I mean, I have Vincent bent a little bit, but I doubt he's much taller than Noctis. But they both stand at the same height. And both weapons are so detailed. See the sword here. Like, that's a crazy amount of detail. And this figure, again, was $150. I think I got a little bit of a discount buying it on Ami. But, I mean, you pay for that discount in the shipping, I guess. So, it's not much to brag about. They are expensive figures, and I have now 6. That's all. If you want to be a Play Arts Kai collector, please have a good, stable job, or people like giving you the money, because these things do cost a pretty penny. Like, I bought all 4 of the Final Fantasy boys on Ami, not at the same time. They all were staggered release, but it cost over $400, so I would just be prepared for that. And then I'm going to show you Sephiroth. I've reviewed him in the past, so I'm not going to go into more depth about him, but he's so much taller. I think nowadays they're getting more into, like, making them as tall as they are in game to scale, and that I like that. I appreciate that. I'm sure when I get the Cloud, it's going to be so much shorter. I'm going to live for that moment. But I'm obviously a Cloud Sephiroth fangirl. I'm so sorry, fam. But these are the differences in the different years. Like, this is early Play Arts Kai, and then we're getting towards the middle, and then this is super on point scaling. His face is marvelously well done. It's not flat. There's some life. You can tell his character by just looking at his face. Noctis, he's kind of meh. Even for him, even in, like, the later stages of Play Arts Kai, like, it's still kind of a blank face, but they got Sephiroth on point, and it is Sephiroth just by looking at his face alone. The hair is way better nowadays. They add, like, gradient textures, colors. It's more flexible and movable. They just done such a good job with upping their game, like I said. I think the most important part about collecting Play Arts Kai figures is starting slow. Like, I started way too fast where I was just buying. I didn't know what I wanted, and I kind of had to slow myself down and just realize I wanted only Final Fantasy. Now, there's a lot of different nice, expensive figures you can get from Play Arts Kai, and they are well worth it, each one of them. I mean, even the old one like Vincent I still enjoy, and I probably will get his other one eventually, but it's just really important to know your budget and your expectations, and making sure you have enough space, because these are, they're 9 inches or even 10 to 11 sometimes, and it's important to know you have that space and know what kind of theme you're going for. Because, I mean, based on what I've seen on YouTube, everyone kind of has their own theme. What do I mean by themes? I'm talking about, like, for example, I have a Sephiroth wall where I put all my Sephiroth stuff. And then I have a Final Fantasy 15 wall where I put all my boys. And then I'm kind of bridging out just a little bit. And I have some Bring Arts from Kingdom Hearts. The Cloud, the Sephiroth, and I have Axel, which I reviewed on my channel. Go check it out. But anyway, having space for those themes is really important because it makes you realize how much room you have left to buy stuff. For example, I bought all 4 of the new play arts. I bought Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, and Barrett. And figuring out where to put those is a struggle, but it helps me understand that I can't buy Reno and Rude because there's just not enough space for them. And that's really important if you're trying to be a collector on a budget. And let's go a little bit deeper into budget. So with Ami Ami, they are releasing Cloud, Tifa, I think Aerith's last in November at the first 4, and I think Barrett's at September. But it's good because it helps you kind of build up your budget to buy another one. It gives you 2 or maybe a month to get a paycheck in. So you're not throwing all your money on 4 of them at the same time. You're kind of building up that budget to buy all of them. And I think that's really smart. I'm glad that they did not release all 4 at the same time. Whew. Just like how they did with Final Fantasy 15's figures. They spaced them out like a month each. So it wasn't $400 right out of my paycheck. It was $150 here and $150 there. And I appreciate that so much. And I think all of collectors would appreciate that too. Last but not least, the collector community is such a great tool to have, especially if you're looking for cute deals on figures. I know a lot of people like myself are downgrading their collection to focus on one thing. So I'm probably getting rid of a lot of Good Smiles or Figmas, and just look out for those. Like, if there's a Discord for it, that'd be cool. I don't know, but I am starting to get more active into the collector scene of YouTube. So I'm sure there's something out there for everybody and to meet everybody's budget and to meet everybody's space. Because if someone has more space and they're looking for more stuff, you can make money and they're happily getting figures from you. It's a really cool system, and I'm just so happy to be a part of the collector scene on YouTube. And shout out to a lot of people that are inspired me to make more art. I've been really inspired by Spartanuruk. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right on YouTube, apologies, but I've been really inspired by their channel and all the Play Arts Kai information they're putting out there, keeping me informed. Thank you. And also shout out to a new follower I just followed. I think he has some really good figure reviews. CN.Tsukaima, shout out to you and thank you for shouting me out. I really appreciate it. That is it for my kind of starter's guide on how to collect Play Arts Kais. I appreciate all the love I've been getting recently. I want to continue doing figure reviews. I know it's a really crazy time, but watching figure reviews on YouTube has made me really happy, and I want to make you guys happy too. So hopefully I get some new content coming up in the future. I just finished playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and woo! And all these figures that are coming out, God bless, like I said, I'm going to pick up all the 4 and I'm going to review all of them separately. And when Sephiroth comes out in February, of course, I'll be reviewing him too. But until then, thank you guys. I appreciate all the love once again. And I hope you guys stay safe and healthy out there. This is Sandra Faust, and I am out.